Episode 4, Call of the Night video number 3. And this one's a doozy. Episode 4 was so... heck, I'm probably just going to say it about every episode, that it was really good. But episode 4 in particular, 1, 2, 3, it's like, oh, I really like the visual direction and the sound design, and that's all still good in this episode too. But this episode, it feels like reached into my soul and like pulled something out of me. It does feel like we're still mid-flashback, and episode 5 will illuminate, more of the plot details, but this episode really made me think a lot about like themes of trauma and alienation, and the visual storytelling definitely factors into it too. I feel like the whole episode, there's this like duality between like how Haru is presented. There are moments where like she reaches out to like hug Kabura and offer some like comfort and reassurance, but it is also at the same time paired with like the hand reaching out almost like to like attack her. And there are several other little visual cues like that in this episode where it feels like Haru has something to gain, like she's acting in a way that you could read it as manipulative. Like, it feels very clear that she wants to turn Kabura just from the way she like frames her questions, and like she can tell that Kabura's got stuff going on. And so like really trying to like, oh, what do you want to be? Like, do you want to be a vampire? Shots of like the teeth, and like she'll smile in a silhouette, and obviously the big scene at the end where she's just bathed in this like blood red light, which normally would indicate like, oh, bad, but also like her action, she is a genuine friend to Kabura. Like, she gives really good advice that, one line that really stuck with me was how like, if you don't express your true feelings, then no one's ever gonna know how you feel. And that gets paired with Kabura up on the roof, like she's listing off all these things that she hates about her life, the people in it, broken promises, lies, stuff like that, lying about her true feelings, and how like, oh, is she doomed to live this life, a life where she's surrounded by things that she hates? And the answer is no. And the solution comes through Haru flipping her whole world upside down. Literally. And like, I don't know, maybe that could be read as most people, like the average person in this setting, would think that vampires are scary and bad, but like all the main characters in it, like whether they've turned already or want to turn, they're kind of like outcasts in society. So this thing that seems really bad is actually, there's a good side to it. Another shot that really kind of indicated that to me was when they're both up on the roof, and Kabura is the one bathed in shadow while Haru is in the light. And, if what Haru was doing really was like predatory and manipulative, then like, why would they frame her as this like shining light? Because like she offers that freedom to Kabura. It's really interesting, and I don't know if I'm doing it justice, but I like it. The other lens that I would approach this scene with is obviously the like queer reading where Kabura is interested in another woman, and so like that also being kind of like her being an outcast, not really the norm. And some people view queer people as like predatory and bad, so I don't know, maybe that ties in too. As I said last time, I'm just saying shit. So if it makes sense or doesn't make sense, I'm workshopping it here. But I think I really do want to make a main channel Call the Night video of some sort. And if I do make a main channel video, I feel like this episode in particular could be a part of it. Because yeah, like going back to themes of like trauma and alienation, how like Kabura deals with these health issues, and all the people that are like in her life who don't really seem to like understand her, like, oh, the way that she phrased it, oh, it's nice of them to like stop and let me catch up. You know, they're such supportive friends, and Haru hits back with like oh, they won't even lend you a hand, and they talk about looking after you, you know, and those are your supportive friends. Kabura's health issues are out of her control, but like in terms of the people she surrounds herself with, like she is considerate of other people, and because she doesn't express herself honestly, like she keeps those people around her when they are not supportive and they're not like a good influence on her life, because all they do is make her feel like shit and talk shit behind her back. And there are some really good like visual examples of that I don't really want to break down, but I will show on screen. One in particular, though, because I just really like when the show incorporates harsh noise. So the one where they're sitting in the hospital room and Kabura's friend is trying to talk about plans and stuff like, oh, we can go do this. And pretty much just like everything Kabura says goes in one ear out the other, and the noise starts really cutting in and it gets harsher and harsher until she finally just like snaps. Like visually she snaps. Her dialogue is very like calm and collected still, but she finally breaks past that mental wall of like being honest. And what I like really, the shot with the staircase that follows after that, where it's just, you know, she's walking, it's like a very monotonous shot intercut with all these like squiggly lines and harsh noise, that it's like getting over trauma and like voicing her honest feelings is like it feels like instinctually like bad. Like I'm not used to doing this. I feel like wrong for doing this. Maybe I'm projecting my own kind of experiences with this sort of attitude, but the first few steps of trying to like overcome this stuff, it's very like painful. And I think that also is sort of indicated in, you know, the scene of her turning where everything is bathed in red and then she emerges from this like sea of blood. And I can't even really put into words how visually evocative that is and how much I feel like that resonates with me. Like even right now when I like make videos and record these ones, main channel, whatever it may be, I still like physically tense up when I sit down to like do these, when I know that there's no reason to. Like I'm doing something that I have fun with, but because I had a few years where I wasn't really doing it and I had really like convinced myself that I didn't deserve to like have this, I'm still kind of like fighting against those gut feelings. So I guess just the visual through line I get from the episode is that sometimes doing something that is good for you and like taking steps to change yourself and change your life into something better, those steps sometimes you have to go through something painful, and that's indicated with the harsh noise, the blood wall, you know, all that stuff. But it's still worth going through those experiences because you'll come out of it on the other side a better, happier, more fulfilled person, or in this case, vampire. The rules you felt bound by before no longer apply. You know, it's like a rebirth. It's, God, This anime is so fucking cool. Some of the visual gags are pretty funny too. Like I really liked when they came back from the eye catch and there's this dramatic music that starts playing and Ko is like, "Oh, you turned Nazuna," and Kabura's immediately like,
全然違うわよ。
"No, that's so wrong," and the music cuts out and just the embarrassed look. It's great. I still kind of deal with like a mental dilemma of I don't want my trauma to be all that my content is. I don't want it to be all that I talk about, but it's still something that I deal with on pretty much like a day-to-day basis. Or I'm making progress. I think I'm getting to a point where it's less and less of an issue, but it's still a big part of my life right now. And I've always tried to be honest in my content, and I kind of had a few years there where I wasn't really being honest with myself and my own feelings. So it feels wrong to like get back to this, and it feels wrong to like vocalize my trauma that like I am inconveniencing someone who chose to watch this video, which makes no fucking sense. But yeah, like I'm trying to be like a new version of of me, you know, but also it's basically I'm restarting. It feels like I'm, you know, working from square one again and building myself up from there. Like I had to strip away all of these bad habits and things that I might have done to like protect myself, mental walls that I put up that now like actively get in the way of me doing things and being happy. So it's like things that were once like a form of self-defense have become like self-harm, and trying to break those habits and just like live without this constant weight on my shoulders. And making the video on the main channel about it and just finally telling my story, that took a lot off of me, and I feel a lot lighter than I did, say, a month ago, but it's still very much a work in progress. And I guess Call of the Night is kind of helping me feel more whole as a person. Like I feel like creatively it clicks with me on so many different levels. Thematically, you know, with this episode and this character, it kind of felt like I was seeing aspects of my own life thrown back at me, and I like media that makes me feel things. Emotions are good, actually. I'm not gonna say right now that Kabura is like my favorite character or anything. I am really interested to see like how did she go from being the person that she is in this backstory where she's very like timid and quiet to her like confidence and the attitude that she has now, where she does kind of come off as a little cold at times. But yeah, I'm just really curious. And then the whole thing with Nanakusa Haru, I'm assuming that that's like Nazuna's mom or something, or like relative, and that Nazuna and Kabura have some kind of like sisterly dynamic. Nope. I'm now starting to question like, was that actually Nazuna in the opening? Or was it? I don't know. I think that's enough for this video. I'm not a very good theory crafter. That's not really my style. Like, comment, and subscribe at the end of the video. The call to actions are not my strong suit either. Even when I was making videos in the past, I feel like I could never fully take it in and enjoy it. I always saw the things that were wrong with it. I hated myself, and so I could never like give myself the credit for doing something cool. And now when I make videos like these ones in particular have really helped me just relax and have fun with it a bit more. And I feel like sometimes when I record the audio for these, I don't feel like it sounds like a good video, but then when I cut it down and like edit the video to it and everything, somewhere in that process, it feels to me like something I can be proud of that I made. And I just want to keep doing things that allow me to maintain that feeling. So I guess that's the end for this video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more of these, and take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there.